Hi everyone, Kate Byars, founder of Corporate Women Unleashed. Today we are talking about another myth of how to create more private time, which is boundaries. Now, I think boundaries is a word that means a lot of things to a lot of people. So that's one of the things that we get caught up in. But what we see a lot in women, and this is where we have to really challenge ourselves, is that there's no hard and fast boundaries to creating freedom for your private time, okay? A lot of women will say, oh, I've negotiated this up front with my company, or, I've chatted with my boss and I told my boss I needed this certain time off. And some of that is fair enough, okay? Hopefully that works to some degree, but we don't always see it creating fulfillment. Great, you got Thursday afternoons off, or maybe for the next several weeks because your child is in a play or something, you're going to take Friday afternoons off to get them to rehearsals. That kind of stuff is cool. I wouldn't really call that a boundary. When we talk about boundaries, the reason that it doesn't work very often, it sounds good in theory and doesn't play out in practice, is that especially women, we're looking for permission, right? Because if someone could just give us permission to leave on time, then we don't have to feel guilty. And so that is the crux of the matter, because, with what we teach, I'm a big fan of sometimes you need to work late. I'm okay with a 60, 70-hour work week every now and then. I don't think it has to be we're all working 30 to 40 hours a week every day of our life. If you understand how to get your needs met and how to stay really fulfilled and enriched and engaged in all areas of your life, you can flow in and out of a 60-hour work week, a 40-hour work week, a 70-hour work week. You can lean in really hard for a while and then you can lean out. And so it becomes this flexible engagement of knowing, what is it that I really need to be doing right now to keep myself fulfilled, engaged, focusing on my core values and my priorities in my life? And that's going to be an ebb and flow. Where we start getting into boundaries is that we're not giving enough input into our private life, which creates massive amounts of guilt. And so then when we're asked to work late or go on a business trip, we feel horrible. But think of it this way. Think of every single day, whether you were working late or you were only working, a half day, you had a really high level of connection with your children or your spouse or your partner or your loved ones, right? Would you feel so bad if you had to go on a business trip? Probably not, maybe a little bit, but not really. It's like, no, you know what? Mom's got to go run off to XYZ business trip. I'll be back in a couple days, because your cup is full, your children's cup is full, or whatever's going on. You and your husband are really aligned and connected. You're not grouching at each other or stressed and strained in your relationship. Then a business trip is no big deal. Then working a couple nights late or picking up an extra project that's going to, take some weekends for a month is not a big deal. So it's really not about creating, at least for what we believe, hard and fast boundaries. It's understanding, when am I needing to lean out? When am I needing to lean in? And how do I do that in a way where I'm having, massive impact on my career? I'm showing up as a high value contributor. So no one's doubting that I'm valuable here. And I'm also showing up, energized, connected, or I should say disconnected from work and connected with my family at home. So my family feels great for the time I'm there. And I feel great that I'm really showing up as the person I want to be in my private life. This also is huge, huge, huge when it comes to your health. And maybe I'll do another broadcast on that, but let's just suffice it to say for this broadcast that when your cup is full, when you feel like you're doing the things that are a priority to you in your life, you are attending to those things that matter to you most, then the weight just starts coming off. And you don't have to feel bad about going to the gym or, doing yoga while the kids play on the carpet around you or whatever, that type of thing, because you're not feeling like bad mom who's doing yoga class. You're just like, yeah, mom's doing yoga, you're playing, but we've had a great evening and who cares? It's a big deal. So I want to kind of suggest that we rethink boundaries, because we see this all the time with women they'll say, oh my God, I had this boundary and that boundary and this boundary. And I asked my boss for that and I asked my company for that and they didn't do it. We've even seen women who have negotiated some pretty fierce positions. And then as they were hired into the company, the company didn't follow through on that commitment. And again, women, we tend to feel like if we don't have permission or if someone else isn't following through with what they've committed to, then we just get stuck, right? And that shouldn't be the way. You should be able to say, hey, wait, I'm a high value player. I got a lot to contribute here. I'm going home for the day, or that is the position I want, and you need to get out of my way because that was what was promised to me. So finding your voice in these situations, not in a way where you're, bitchy or making waves, but in a way that just says, hey, look, this is something I need to do. I'm going to be out of here today at 3. What do you guys need from me before I go? Otherwise, I'll chat with you tomorrow. Or you get that email in. We have lots of clients who, of course, we all get emails in at 9 o'clock at night, and lo and behold, if you check your emails, then you're going to be festering. But one of the things we teach is, how do you briefly look at your emails, figure out which ones to open and which ones to just ignore for the night, and very quickly say, ooh, great, thanks for letting me know. We'll tackle that challenge in the morning. Bing, done, right? Instead of, oh my God, this is a problem, and I got to get back to my boss. And now you're telling your kids to go to bed by themselves and your husband that you can't watch a movie, and you're going to spend 3 hours figuring out the solution until midnight. That's not a boundary, right? And that doesn't feel good at all. So it's just really learning to have these, if you want to call them boundaries in the moment, and being really dynamic. Ooh, this is something I do need to attend to midnight. This is something that's going to be there tomorrow. And when you feel that internally, that you've got that value, and you understand that's what you're really there to deliver, there's no need for boundaries. There's no need for permission. There's no need for hard and fast rules. You don't need these external constructs to give you freedom. You just create it day in, day out, and get your needs filled. And it's really magic. It's super magic. So I hope that's helpful for you. Look, if you are a highly successful woman, if you're a high achiever, driven woman, ambitious, you know who you are, and you're giving way too much of your private life for your career, please stop doing that. Please, please, please. You can rewrite the rules of success for yourself. We've had over 200 women in the last year alone do that with us. So watch one of our free masterclasses. We'll put a link below in the comments. Check it out. I promise you're going to learn something that, either in a new way or definitely things that you haven't heard before. And be inspired, get some support, and I'll look forward to talking with you at the next broadcast.